Hello, everyone. Uh, Good evening from Pakistan, and good morning or good afternoon to all those who are in different time zones. Thank you for joining me for this webinar series brought to you by Kaizen Analytics LLP. This is a fifth free webinar from our side, and the topic which we are covering today is supply chain analytics in Power BI. This is Mohammed Kashif, and just couple of things before we get started with the actual content of the webinar. Um, we have already emailed the database to all participants who have registered with us. For those who didn't register with us or who are watching this after the telecast date, simply shoot us a request, and we would love to share the material, which is database file, the presentation, and the Power BI file. Our email ID is flashing on your screen right now, and we will leave the email ID as well in the description. You must have many questions, so don't hesitate to leave your question in the chat, and my team will try to answer them on the spot. You can also email us your questions, and we would love to respond you shortly. So this is about the housekeeping rules of this webinar. A little bit about myself and the firm. My name is Mohammed Kashif. I'm a senior member of Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of Pakistan since 2005. I'm I've literally worked in quite every field in which is relevant to finance, from bookkeeping to corporate finance, financial feasibility, financial modeling, data analytics, data visualization, supply chain, business process analysis, procurement, capacity building. So there are lot of things have I've worked in a lot of areas in past 17 years. I'm also a founder and managing partner of Kaizen Analytics LLP, which is a limited liability partnership firm registered with Security and Exchange Commission of Pakistan. Our core areas are business consultancies, and we do execute projects and capacity building activities. A tailor-made capacity building activities are also executed, and our focused areas are emerging technologies, which are business intelligence, blockchain, advanced analytics, and much more. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can follow me on page Facebook as well, and my email ID is also given in the slide. So um, let's move forward to the actual webinar. This webinar is divided into three sections. So first section is a generic universe of supply chain management. So we'll discuss very generically what is supply chain management. I do happen to work in procurement, so I did work on one component of supply chain. So I do have some of the experience as well. But as far as supply chain is concerned, it has many components apart from procurement. So there are logistics and there are other things as well. Then we'll move to the core section, which is the supply chain analytics in Power BI. And we work with demo dataset, which we have already emailed to the participants. So we work with from scratch, and we will build the dashboard from very basic. So we'll convert this simple database, the sale order. This is warehouse, customer, regions, and products. So we'll work on this simple database. And there are many things going around over here. Top five products as far as profit is concerned, as far as the top five products, as far as cost is concerned, and there are other things as well which is happening over here. So it can be sliced and diced into periods. It can slice and dice into warehouse, into product name, into channels, and if you can see the it, you can also analyze how many inventory units are there and the amount of inventory is there, and what is the order and the delivery date of those products. So it is a demo data set. So in this data set, lot of purchasing has been made. So lot of cash is blocked in inventory at a specific date. So we'll be doing some of the core analysis of supply chain in this as well. So let's start one, and the third one is a way forward. So let's start with the section one, which is supply chain management, the universe, which is simply defined in this webinar. So, what is supply chain? Simply, it is two or more parties linked by a flow of resources, where typically it is material, information, money, and the ultimate goal is to satisfy the request of a customer. So, I put it a very simple example over here. So if you can see, this is the market, and this is the product where the product is manufactured in factory. So when a customer comes in the market, it needs to have the orders, and those orders are these this market requests those orders from the manufacturer or the distributor, and there is a flow of information in shape of orders and status, and that material is delivered as well, and the money is also transferred to the distributor or the factory. But this is a very basic kind of a thing. If we can unpack this scenario, so it is not simple in a real world. So there is a market and a factory, and there are a lot of uh, conversion points before it ultimately went to the market. And even it is linked with an ultimate source. It can be the ultimate source can be a farm, or it can be any place where the actual source material is prepared or is grown. And even this diagram is very simple as far as supply chain management is concerned. It mostly it is not in a simple line which is described over here. It is most likely a spaghetti of flow of information. So there can be a product which is converted three times. There can be a product which is converted two times before going into the ultimate market, and there can be a product which is converted into just one time conversion and going into the market. So as far as a real scenario is concerned, it is much more complex as explained in the first diagram. um, if I can expand this definition, because this definition is just for it explains the one side of supply chain. So just an example: if you're working in an home appliances, and you're dealing with home appliances, so you will have to you will have to procure the machinery, the frame from let's assume there are two products which you want to assemble in your factory. So the machinery supplier will have some of the products from other suppliers. So there are a number of chain of suppliers. Once that item is reached in your warehouse for ultimate assembly, and even once it is assembled, you need the uh, supply chain to be moved forward to move forward that product. So it can be moved forward to a wholesaler or distributor, which can further push that item to retailer, and the ultimate goal is to fulfill the requirement of the customer, the consumer. But there are many players um, which are involved in manufacturing of any one product, and this is covered in a supply chain management. So this is kind of a very brief uh, introduction of what is a supply chain and how supply chain works. So there are very cool analytics, and once you work on the data of supply chain, and to improve your process or business, you will have to analyze if you're working on a supply chain and you're working on a dashboard of supply chain. So it is kind of a real-time working, and you will watch on each and every activity on a real-time basis, set KPIs accordingly, and then improve your business process on a continuous basis. So that is very basic about supply chain. So let's jump into our actual demo data set. So before going into this one, there are key pillars of Power BI or business intelligence. So this webinar is, as far as data transformation is concerned, it is at basic level. But as far as data modeling is concerned, where linkages of various tables are concerned, so it is at intermediate level. Tax function, well, you must have some of knowledge of tax function before going into this webinar, because we will work on not on basic but on some intermediate level of tax function over here. And data visualization is concerned, definitely it will be, or not at a basic level but on an intermediate level. So we did uh, in our registration email, we did uh, uh, give all the participants the download link for Power BI. You can Google it, and you can download if you haven't installed Power BI. So it is instructed to install the desktop of Power BI. It's free for you if you are working in your environment and you don't want to share it in on the online resources. So it is a free resource. You can download it and play with your data. It's amazing. So let's move to our second section, and let's open a blank Power BI file. So great. So this is a new Power BI desktop view, and this one, these four tiles are added in the October as well. So this is a new one. If you have an older version, just update it, or if you don't have any of Power BI installed in your, or in your computer, so you will install the latest one automatically. So let's just import the data over here. We have data in Excel, and let's also review the data first and before exporting it. This is our database, and if you can see, it is a simple sales order which have three dates. These are the three dates which we have. So we have procurement date, order date, shipment date, and delivery date. So these dates are very important as far as supply chain is concerned. So we'll work on these dates as well. So it is linked with other table, these tables with warehouse index. This is a code, consumer index, regional index, product index. These are the quantities and unit price and the unit cost. This is a warehouse, and you can see this is a warehouse information. Then this is customer information. This is region information. So this data is a demo data set. So it belongs to Canada in two provinces, and we have the lat longs as well. And we are working with different products, so it has around 14 products in our data set as well. So let's import it over here. Click on this import data from Excel. Okay, now let's click on these first five tables which you can see over here, these first five. So let's import them. Click on transform data. If you click on transform data, so Power Query will automatically, the window of Power Query will open. So you can do all the transformation in Power Query. So now we have our tables in Power Query, and we can do some of the transformations over here. And it is important to add a comprehensive date table. And in uh, in our email, we did have emailed this complete date code. So Control A, Control C, and go to this new source, blank query, go to this advanced editor, and just paste that code, complete code. So no syntax error has been detected because it is a complete code for date, and just click on done. Now we will have to give parameters for start date and end date. So let's give them parameter. Our data starts from 1st January 2017, and let's make it uh, end of end of 2020. So it is 31st December 2021. The fiscal year start is 1. Okay, and let's invoke. So we have a complete date table, date table over here, and let's rename it as dates. So this is a simple transformation which we'll be making, and let's close and apply this one. So it is applying all the queries in Power BI and also detecting all the relationships. So once it is done, we will create some data modeling over here, and there's an important concept which we'll be discussing in this webinar. So yes, it is detecting the relationships as well, and it is importing all the data over here. So we have all the data in our Power BI file. Let's go in this model. So there are three type of views: report view, data view, and model view. So we'll do all the relationships over here. First, let's delete these relationships, and we'll make these relationships manually. So delete this one as well, and also this one, this last one. So these relationships are deleted. I think, yes, the date table is not here. Let me just see, where is the date table? Yeah, here is the date table. So we have all the tables over here, and this is kind of a core concept. So let me just explain. There are, as far as basic concept is concerned, there are kind of two type of tables which are in a database. There are for basic concept. As far as basic concept is concerned, one type is a fact table, which has the main information or transaction information in it, and the others are the lookup table, which are the reference tables. In our data, we have sales table, which is the main table, and all other tables are lookup tables. So this region table, this warehouse table, this customer, this product, so these are all lookup tables, and this date table is an important lookup table, and this is the sales table. So we'll make certain relationships between these tables before we'll move ahead. So first over here, let's this warehouse index, this one, and let's make a relationship with this warehouse index so that these two tables are connected. And now as far as region is concerned, this is the index of region, and this is the index of region index. So let's make these two relationships as well. And over here, this is customer index, and over here this is customer index. So let's make this relationship as well. And this is product, and this is product index. So let's make the relationship for product index as well. But as if you can realize, if you can analyze that in this data set, we, yes, over here, yes, in this data set over here, in the sales table, we have 4 dates. These are the 4 dates which we have. So, and for our analysis, we may use, for certain analysis, the procure date. For certain analysis, we may use order date. For certain analysis, we may use ship date. And for other analysis, we may use delivery date. So we will not make an active relationship to any of one of the dates. So we will connect this date table to all 4 dates, and we will make all the connections inactive. And we will use the DAX function accordingly with our work. Okay, so this one is for first date for order date, and next we will make the relationship with date with this delivery date over here. Next we'll make the relationship with the shipment date, this one, date with the shipment date. And we have, I think, procure date as well. So this one is not yet, yeah, procure date is left behind. So let me just, yes, this one is linked with this one. So now we have 4 relationship, 3 are inactive. This dotted line is showing that these are inactive relationship, but this is an active relationship. Just click over here, double click over here, and make it inactive. So we'll make them active accordingly in the DAX function. So our modeling is, our data modeling is kind of a complete as far as our webinar is concerned. So all the tables are linked, and the date table is linked with the fact table in an inactive relationship, and we'll make them actively accordingly as per our requirement is concerned. So let's finalize this one, and let's convert it into this this dashboard. And let's start with basic one, and let's make some major calculations, some main calculations over here. So it is kind of an advice and a best practice to do all the calculation in separate table, in a separate table. So calculations can be done in these tables as well, but then you will have to find it from search option. So let's create one new table, and let's make it name it as general calculation. So a new table of general calculation is created, and we'll make some generic calculations over here, and then we'll make some specific calculations. So this one is over here, and these 3 buttons, let's click it over here, new, and let's make some general calculation. Okay, first revenue. So let's make a calculation of revenue, and then we'll move forward. So if we analyze our database, we have a unit price and we have quantity orders. So as far as revenue is concerned, we will have to use not a simple sum function of adding this column, but we need an iterating function with where it will multiply these quantities to this unit price, and go row by row and do the same thing with each row, and then add the results value. So this can be done by using the iterating function, which is the x function, the sum x, average x, and others. So we'll use a sum x function in this one. So as far as revenue is concerned, revenue is sum x, and we will have to define a table. So sales table is defined, and we want the order quantity to be multiplied by the unit price, not the unit cost, but the unit price. So this is first one, and the second one will be the okay. So let's see what we let's delete it over here, and let's see the results. And I will it will not do the calculations as required, and I will show you how we will do the specific calculations in this case. So let's add one table over here. So we have one table over here right now, and let's see the table. This is a table, and let's place dates in this table, and let's make it date, simple date, this one, and also let's make it simple date from here. And now let's place this revenue over here. So this is not calculating the revenue per date. It is only calculating the total of the revenue. So it is only calculating the total amount, but that total amount is not filtered in any date. The reason is as our data model is concerned, we have 4 dates over here, and we have not specified which date is to be used as far as the calculation is concerned. So here we will use another function, which is use relationship function to do a specific calculations. And it's very important as far as aging analysis is concerned, where there are a number of dates are in our database. So as far as supply chain is concerned, it is important to analyze according to the dates and time as well in e-commerce business. So it is very important the what what is the time for the when the order is placed, and the time it took to deliver that product. So it is very important to do those calculations not in dates but in time as well. So we can do the revenue for let's say we want to recognize the revenue with order date, and let's these are generic calculations. So let's make another table, and let's make that table a to specific calculations, because we'll be using some specific calculations as far as supply chain is concerned. So in new table is formed with the name of specific calculation, and we'll do the calculations accordingly. So this is the new table, and let's do some specific calculations, and let's recognize the revenue once the order is placed. So let's do it over here, revenue by order date, and let's place the function of calculate. So calculate is kind of function which is used in, I think I've used in all of my application about 90% of it. So it is used rigorously, and it is kind of a generic one. So you just place one expression and you want to filter it accordingly. So I really want to calculate the revenue, which is which I have already calculated, and I really want to calculate it in according to a filter. And what is the filter? We'll use the filter as use relationship. And now we want to activate one uh, one date in this specific scenario. So we want to calculate the revenues as per order date. So in date table we have the dates, so we want to connect the date column of date table to uh, order date column of the sales table, this one. So now it will calculate this revenue according to the order date. And if we can place this over here, so our order is not yet placed till 2017, but it is, the first order is placed on 31st of May 2018. So, and it, the beauty of the dashboard is that if you click on any of the slicer, all the information is converted according to the slicer. So let me just add two slicer over here. First slicer is the slicer of year, this one, and the second slicer, so let's make this one in list, and let's make the second slicer as well. So the second slicer is for the quarters from the state table, this one. So if we can analyze that this revenue is placed in a card, and control C and control V, so let's place another one, this revenue, in a card as well. Delete this column. So let's delete this one and uh, let's make these two columns specific, that these two tables are for Myers only. So this calculator will appear over here as well. So just flip over here. So calculators appear over here. So these two tables are specific for Myers as well. So the information is same, but if you slice this one in years, so this information will not definitely change because it doesn't know what are the dates which we are looking for, but this information changes accordingly. So that is why we are using the use relationship, because there are multiple dates. Let's do the visualization accordingly, and complete dashboard as well as we move along. So click on this journal, click on this, make it horizontal, and also just we want the basic filter over here for 17, 18, 19, and 2020. So we want this 4-1, and let's place a name as well. So let's name it as supply chain analytics, and let's make it at 28, color it as dark blue, and make it bold. So we have the name as well, this one. And we will be doing the visualization along our work. So let's go over here and let's remove this slicer header. As far as these items are concerned, let's make them these items font, make it white, and also background, make it this blue. So that's, and let's click over here. We have done this as far as the visualization is concerned. Just click over here, go to this format painter and click over here. So the format is automatically copied. So it is kind of a general feature as far as the Microsoft products are concerned. So this feature is also available in Power BI. So we have years here, and then we have quarters. So we have both of them over here, and let's do other calculations over here. So we have done the revenue as far as revenue is concerned, and let's do some other calculation like cost. So let's first do a general calculation of cost, and then we'll move forward to a specific one of cost. So we'll use the same calculation as we have used for revenues. So cost is equal to sum x, and we use the table of sales, and order quantity, sales order quantity is multiplied by unit cost, not unit sale but unit cost. Simple. So this is cost, but this cost definitely is as far as Power BI is concerned, Power BI is not uh, aware of how to analyze this cost over here. So it will give total costs over here. So let's make other one, and then we'll make some specific calculations. So let's make another calculation of simple total profit. Total profit is equal to revenue minus cost. And then we'll make another calculation of transactions. So let's make one more calculation of transactions, and for this one we'll use a simple function of count rows. So total transaction is just counting all the rows of the table of sales. Transactions is equal to count rows, the table of sales. Simple. Okay, now we have made generic calculations, and it's time to make some specific calculations which are there, and we can analyze them accordingly. So let's make this thing ORDR. Yeah, that's good. So we want to analyze as far as the cost is concerned, we want to analyze according to the procure date. So let's analyze the cost according to the procure date. So cost by procure date is equal to calculate, and we want to calculate the cost definitely, and we will use uh, the function of use relationship. So use relationship, and we want to join two columns, the date column with the procured cost, this one with the procured date. So now we have the cost as well, and that cost is as per the procured date. And once we place it over here, so if you can see, yes, so this is let's assume that this is a database of a trading concern, not a manufacturing concern. So there is not much happening as far as value addition is concerned. So there are no manufacturing activities or value addition activities. Just it is procuring from one side and selling it out. So there are bulk purchases which are happening over here. So we have bulk purchase of in 2 dates, and then our first sales happens on mid of 2018. So we have cost as well, and just place this cost in this card as well. So we have the cost as well over here, and let's do other calculation. For instance, we want to analyze the profit. So let's analyze the profit uh, according to the order date. So let's name it as profit, which is to be analyzed according to order date. So profit by order date is equal to calculate total profit, which is which we have already calculated, and we'll use the function of use relationship. We want to add two dates. First, the date column of date table, and second, the order date of sales table. So it is, our profit is analyzed according to the order date. So let's place this order date over here as well, and now we have our profits as well according to our order date. So this is kind of a very basic one, and let's do some analysis which is relevant to supply chain. For instance, we want to analyze the inventory order level. So let's do that inventory order level as well. So let's delete this table. This was just for generic calculation, and let's do some calculation according to the inventory order level over here. So first, um, we want to analyze the inventory in process. And what do I mean by inventory in progress? So we want on any date how much inventory is sitting there in our warehouse that has been ordered but not yet shipped to the customer. So let's just place this area chart over here, and let's do some specific calculations as far as our working is concerned. So let's place the revenue as far as this is revenue by order, and let's place the dates over here as well. So these are the dates as far as revenue by order is concerned. So these are dates of the revenue by order is concerned, and we'll make some specific calculations over here right now. So Just click over here and let's make it as inventory in progress. Let's make it as inventory in progress. So inventory in progress is equal to, and we want to calculate the revenue, and we want to place two filters. The first filter is placed with order date, sales order date, and here the criteria of the filter is the order date, sales order date is less than or equal to the max of dates, this one. And there is the max and main formula. So I think here we need this is equal to, yes. So we want to place another filter, values, and so it is, so this inventory is sitting in our warehouse in between two dates, the order date and the shipment date. So the second date is the shipment date, and we want the shipment date to be less than or equal to the min date, the min date of date table, this one. So if you're using um, Power BI for the first time, so this is kind of too much for you. And but as I have said earlier, that in this webinar we will be using an not a basic level of DAX, but an intermediate level of DAX function. So you must have knowledge of what calculate does, what filter, what values does. So as far as min max is concerned, we are doing min max in Excel as well. So this is the formula right now. So it will calculate at any given point of time in between these two filters, the order date and the ship date. So what is the value of inventory which is sitting in our warehouse? And this is uh, very useful analysis. If you can analyze it over here in this one. So if you can place it over here, so you can see that your order and your inventory is at par as far as the working is concerned, and we can just make it in dates as well. Okay, now it is much more clear. So if it is very important. So we can see over here that your inventory as far as your revenue of order is concerned, it is quite small, but you have purchased a lot of inventories against that order. So a lot of cash is blocked in inventory, and this has to be analyzed accordingly. So your resources are blocked as far as your inventory is concerned. And even you can make it much more interesting if you can see what is the revenue as far as your revenue of delivery date is concerned. This is revenue of order date. So let's do one more calculation of revenue by delivery date, and let's do it over here in this new year, and let's do one more calculation, the revenue according to the delivery date as well. Revenue by delivery date. So we'll use the function of calculate, and we want to calculate revenues, and the filter is we want to use relationship, and we want to combine two columns as far as date is concerned. The first is the date column of the table, and the second one is the delivery date of the sales table. So let's place this one over here as well, and let's see what we have over here. So let's place it over here. Okay, even now it is much more obvious if you can see that. So as far as overall working of the organization is concerned, too much inventory is sitting in warehouse, so it is blocked. It is blocking the uh, cash in shape of inventory. So you can make it much more interesting. So we'll make it much more interesting. Let's place some slicers. So let's place one slicer of say warehouse code. So we have different warehouse, so we can do this analysis according to the warehouse as well. So we will place one slicer of warehouse code, and let's make it in drop down, and let's place another slicer over here as well, and let's place this slicer to according to not warehouse but according to someone else, like let's place it according to the products. Okay, not here, we just want products over here. So let's place it over here, products. So we have the slicer of products, and let's copy it, and let's place one more slicer with with the type of revenues. So we have different revenue types, so we can place it as far as channel is concerned. And this simple chart, let's make this is indicating the progress of the whole business. So let's see what are our various warehouses are doing. So it is different for different warehouse. So it is quite different from different warehouse. And even if we can analyze this warehouse with this product as well, so we can analyze our warehouse 1001. So what is product A, product B, product C? So it is very different for different products. So uh, let's do some other calculation, and let's finish up this webinar. So it is kind of an interesting. I know that one, and there are quite a number of analysis which you can do in supply chain. But let's do the closing of this webinar by doing some more analysis over here. So just place these one over here, few, and we have the revenue, we have the cost, and let's make one smaller. Let's make them smaller. Okay, let's make them this one. Label, let's make it dark blue, and let's make it 30. And also let's make the category dark blue, and let's, I'm just doing the final visualization as well. And also I think it is good to go. Let's just copy this over here, and let's click on this background, and let's do the background working as well. Make it gray with 0%, that's good. So this one is over here, and let's make these two identical. So this is cost, and this is revenue, this is cost, and let's make this one identical as well, and we'll make it as profit. So this is identical. Okay, this, yes, this is identical, and let's make it as profit. So just click over here, and we have made anything of profit. Yes, profit by order date. So let's place this one over here, and we can make others as well, like we can make the transactions as well. So let's do the transactions. Let's calculate the transactions according to the order date. Name a year in specific, and let's do the transactions as well. Transaction by order date, and we'll use the function of calculate, and let's calculate the transaction, and we want to combine date column of date table with order date, not order quantity, order date. Yes, this one, order date. Great. So we have the transactions as well, which is linked with our dates, and we'll make two more calculation. I think one more. One is good to go. So let's Control C and Control V over here, and we'll make one more calculation. So let's click over here, and transactions. So this is indicating the transactions, and now we want to make one more, and that is the profit margin. So let's make profit margin, and it is just very simple. We just want to divide total profit with the revenue, but we will divide the total revenue which is linked with dates, and the revenue which is linked with dates as well. So we'll do it over here, profit margin percentage. We divide the profit by order, that is profits, by revenue, not this one, but revenue by order date, this one, and place 0. This, okay, that's good to go. And let's make this one just over here as well. So let's place this over here, and let's make it in percentage, and also this one to 0. So let's make it 0. So this one is 0. So now we are kind of good to go as far as our working is concerned. And now it's time to do the final touch-ups and do some calculations, and then we'll do the final touch-ups. So let's make it over here, and let's do this one as well. Okay, this one. Now let's do this one as well, and this one as well. So just place it accordingly, and now it's time to do some other calculations. So we can do a lot of calculations, but let's do some specific one. Like we want to calculate top products as far as profit margin is concerned. So let's do the calculation of top products as far as profit margin is concerned. So we'll use the function of top n in this formula, but we'll use it in the calculate function. So top 5 products by profit margin. Calculate, and then we want to calculate is according to profit margin. Profit margin, we'll use the function of top n, and the number is 5. We want to calculate 5 functions. First 5, we'll use all, and we'll use product name, this one, and we want to calculate it according to profit margin, and we want to return the values of product name, this one. Okay, this is good to go. So I think we'll have to change this one. So this is the formula, and let's change this one. Product, total products, top 5 products by profit, and let's place this one over here. This is total top 5 products. So there's any, I think there is any difference. So let me just see what is the okay, just this one. We need to close this one, I think, and this can happen in live session. Yes, let me just see it over here. I think it will be corrected. I forgot to place this. Yes, now it's good to go. This can happen in live session. So let's place it over here, and let's make it in cluster bar chart. We want the products. So let's place the products over here. So we have top 5 products, this one, but let's do some formatting in this one as well. For instance, as far as title is concerned, top 5 product by profit margin, profit percentage. Okay, by product name, just delete by product name. So this is one. Let's make this one dark blue, and also this one in the middle, and as far as x-axis is concerned, let's make it dark blue, and we want to remove this title, this one, these 2 titles. We will remove these 2 titles. So as far as y-axis is concerned, let's make it dark blue as well, and we want to remove this title as well. So let's remove this title. Okay, now it's time to add the legends. So let's add the, this is color. Okay, so let's add the labeling over here first. So we have the labeling, and this labeling is, I think, make it percentage, and let's make them in 0 decimal. Now we are good to go this one. As far as our working is concerned, so this labeling, let's make it dark blue, and we'll do one more thing over here. So this feature is quite new. It was released, I think, two months back. This function in data color this function, so you can add the gradients as well. So we want the higher value in blue and the lower value in this red color. So it will analyze it accordingly. And if you can see the magic over here, let's do one more thing. So here we have analyzed, we'll be analyzing both according to the profit margin, but let's do it in another way. This is top 5 products by profit margin. Let's do another calculation of top 5 products according to the overall cost, not the unit cost, but the overall cost. But we'll do it, just copy this formula, and we'll copy this formula, and we'll make another formula for top 5 product according to the, not the unit cost, but the overall cost. And it will be analyzed according to this gradient. So over here, let's make it as top 5 product over cost, change the name, and we want to is cost by procurement date, this one. And now we want this one as well as cost by procurement date. Cost by procurement date. Okay. Other is same. So if we can place this one over here, let's see what happens. This is top 5 products. This is top 5 products by cost. So let's delete this one and let's place this one over here. Okay. Now it is, this gradient color is providing the information about the profit margin, but these are the products which are as far as cost is concerned. So luckily this one is on the higher side, but it will change accordingly as well. So let me just see if I can. Yes, it has changed. So this product is as far as total cost is concerned, it is on the fourth place, but as far as the profit margin is concerned, it is on the higher side as far as these 5 products are concerned. So this is kind of a very cool feature. And we can also analyze it. There are quite a number of analysis you can do in supply chain. So I'll restrict myself to this webinar for I'm restricting myself to this 1 hour. So let me do one analysis, which is on any particular date, how many orders do we have in between the order date and the delivery date? So these are order in processes, order in progress. So let's calculate the order in progress. So, and we'll show it in another way, and let's calculate it over here. Go over here, new Meyer, and let's do the calculation. So we are finishing up our dashboard. So let's do the order in progress. Yeah, RWS, order in progress, and let's do the placement first. Let's, okay, yes, and calculate, and we want to calculate the transactions, simple transactions, and we want to filter them. I think not this one. Filter them according to the values of in between the sales order date, where the order date is less than and equal to max of date, and the second filter is values delivery date, and the delivery date is greater than and equal to min of dates. So it's simply, it is calculating the orders which are in between these two dates, the order date and the delivery date, and it is just calculating the transactions, all the transactions. So all the orders, this is order in number, not in amount. So we can place it over here. So let's place this tree map over here right now. Let's place this tree map over here, and let's place over here the this order date first, and then second one. So let's place one order in progress, and then we'll place the warehouse, this warehouse. So warehouse code, yes, this is the warehouse number. So these are the warehouses which have, so this warehouse has highest number of orders. So if let's place something in codes as well, as well as tooltip, we can also place the profit margin. So it has, as far as order is concerned, at a given time period, it has 622 orders in progress and a cumulative profit margin of 37%. So it has 285 order and a cumulative margin of 36%. So it can be sliced according to products as well. So this information now is sliced into this single product. So as far as product C is concerned, this warehouse has 11 products and it has a profit margin of 3%, 30%, sorry. And it has, this warehouse has 4 orders in progress and a cumulative profit margin of 26%. So you can slice and dice accordingly this product as well, and according to the channel as well. So as far as distribution is concerned, distributors, so this one has 212 order in progress, so all have a cumulative profit margin of 37%. So you can do tons and tons of analysis over here. So let's do the visualization as well. Let's, as far as name is concerned, let's make it order in progress by warehouse. Simple. So let's delete this one, not by warehouse code, just by warehouse. And let's make it dark blue, and let's make it center line. So that's good to go. And we can place back in, I think 2 or 3 months back, Azure map was introduced in Power BI. So it is very interesting map app as well, and you can do quite a number of things as far as Azure map is concerned. So we'll explore few things over here right now. So if you can see in our data, we have the, as far as regions are concerned, here, let's close these things first. Okay. As far as regions are concerned, we have the latitude and longitude. So we need latitude and longitude over here. So longitude in this longitude and latitude in this latitude. And we can analyze it according to various parameters. So we can analyze it. Let's analyze it in profit margin. So the size of this bubble should be in profit margin. So let's place one over here. Profit margin. Yes, this is profit margin. So let's do it over here. So we have data of two provinces of Canada. So we can analyze this one right now, and we can change the size of bubble accordingly. So let's change the size of bubble as well. Let's make it 15, much smaller ones. So we have much smaller one bubbles over here, and we can place many things as far as tooltip is concerned. We can place the, for instance, our total over here. We can place the revenues, revenue by order, and we can place the cost as well. So we can place both of things over here. So in the tooltip, we'll have both the figures over here. So let's also change the name. So let's delete this one. It is a map, and we know what is the map is. So if we hover over here, so we'll have the information of map. So we have all the information over here. So it's time to just wind up something, and just we need to close this webinar. So let's do one more calculation, and let's place a donut chart over here, and let's analyze it according to the the channel revenue. So let's place the revenue by order over here, and let's from here, from this sales table, let's place this channel over here. So we have three channels. So now we can analyze according to each channel as well. So what is our aim? And the information will change accordingly. So as far as this channel is concerned, this is the information, and these are the informations over here. So let's just click over here, and let's finalize this one. So just click over here and remove this background. Just click over here, and as far as channel header is concerned, let's make it dark blue. And as far as items are concerned, let's make them white, and background this one blue. So this is good to go, and let's make the background, yes. So paint, brush, paint, format painter. So it is done. This one, let's make some visualization as well. Title, let's make simple one. Inventory order level analysis. So let's make it inventory order level analysis. And let's make this one dark blue analysis, I think. Yes. In central line, and let's make this one x-axis. Let's make it dark blue, and also we don't need this one as far as title is concerned. Yes, we don't need the title. Same with y-axis. Let's make this dark blue, and also we don't need this title as well. And let's make the background of here. Let's Name it as title over here, order date by channel. So let's revenue by channel, not order date. Let's make it dark blue, center line, and let's or turn off the background, or this one, turn off the background, this one, turn off the background, this one, we may definitely turn off the background, this one, let's turn off the background as well. Let's turn off this background, and let's format this one, format this one, format, and format here, and let's turn off this background as well, and turn off this background as well. So here we are. Our basic analysis is kind of a complete. So our first observation was this, as far as this business is concerned, too much inventory is waiting in the warehouse. So investment in inventory should be reviewed according to the order date. So it should be minimized. So it is not the case as far as all the warehouse are concerned. So for a specific warehouse, it is different. For this one, it is different. This one, it is different, and this one is different. But the overall case is the same, even for the products as well. So you can analyze it in by choosing various parameters, and you can choose one parameter as well. So it can be analyzed in various things, and due to time limitation, just few specific calculations as far as supply chain analytics is concerned are made over here. There are tons and tons of analysis which you can do in supply chain, and we'll certainly work on supply chain, and who knows, we can have a detailed course on supply chain as well. So this is the second part of our webinar. Now we'll go to the third part, which is the important one. So I hope uh, you have learned a lot along with me. But let's move forward to the section 3 of this webinar. In the way forward, we do work uh, in detail as well as capacity building is concerned. So we have developed some specific capacity building activities, courses, a detailed workshop course, so our premium training workshop, which is advanced financial reporting and analytics in Power BI. And in this is a kind of a workshop um, which is quite detailed. So it is a 4 days complete workshop, and 4 Saturdays, complete Saturdays are booked for this one. And we are in process of right now we are running the 5th batch, and we have announced the 6th batch as well through this webinar. For this November, we are running a special offer for 50% off as far as this workshop is concerned. So this workshop is on 4 Saturdays. It starts on 14th of November 2020, and full working day of all 4 Saturdays will be there. So what we'll analyze in this workshop, we'll create some amazing dashboards. 10 dashboards will be created in this workshop. So the first one is the income statement analysis, and if you can analyze it, you can change it according to actuals, according to the vertical analysis, and even according to this is changed into vertical analysis, and even according to the time intelligence function, which is the last year analysis. So it can be changed with last year analysis as well, and it is totally interactive with, definitely these colors are changes according to the benchmark. So if the benchmark is met, it is in this color, this one. If it is not met, it is in red color. It is close to meeting the benchmark, so it is in yellow color. And we have will create 10 different specific finance related um, dashboards in this training. So this is first one, income statement analysis. This is the second one, which is the sales and customer insight. You can slice it according to period, according to various products, customer, and source. And then we'll analyze some different features of Power BI, like artificial intelligence features of Power BI. So this decomposition tree is automatically created if you have uh, uh, done your data modeling and data transformation in a right way. So you can slice and dice according to various parameters, and you can analyze the root cause of your revenues. Then this is the key influencer, and you can analyze the your sale, whether it is higher or it is lower, and what is the reason why it is higher and it is lower. Then there is an aging analysis. So in finance, we tend to do an aging analysis in our daily working. So customer aging analysis, dynamic customer aging analysis has been done. Then we'll work on cash flow and um, balance sheet and cash flow as well. Similarly, we'll also work on some other functions, like we'll do the advanced ratio analysis in this workshop, the detailed workshop, and we'll use some advanced visualization techniques, like it can be replaced in charts, in KPIs, and we'll do the scenario analysis as well. So if your revenue is changed by reduced by 14% over here, so what is the overall effect on various items which trickle down to this net profit? So if your cost of goods sold decreased by this one, so what is the overall effect of this one? So this is, and we'll do the dynamic uh, cash flow, cash volume profit, CVP analysis. So if your unit sold scenario has been dropped to 370, so what is the effect? Variable cost is increased, so what is the impact? And even fixed cost increase, so what is the impact? And it can be analyzed according to various products, not even a single line of products, so various products as well. And we can do the scenario analysis in a business case as well, where the price scenario is increased by 4%. So this is the actual. So what is happening over here? So now if the demand is increased by 2%, so what is the scenario over here? And if the cost is decreased by 4%, so what is the scenario over here? And it can be sliced and diced according to years as well. So this is the kind of a demo which we'll be doing in these 4 days. So we'll be doing all these dashboards from some basic Excel sheets, and we will do these create these dashboards from scratch and explain all the features and the details of DAX function. This webinar we tend to move fast because the time, we do have a time constraint. But as far as our training is concerned, we explain each and every DAX function in detail. We explain the fact table and the lookup tables as well. So why these are created. As far as our methodology is concerned, um, we don't believe in passive teaching method. We work together with the participant. So there are two phases of our teaching method. So in the first phase, we tend to work on the demo data set with the participant. So these 4 days will be working on the demo data set with the participants. But once we are over with the demo data set, then it's time for learning by implementation. And we will conduct one-to-one session with participants. So the participant will choose one dashboard which they are working in their professional environment, and they are doing the analysis using pivot table and pivot charts. So we will help them to convert those analysis and to convert those analysis in Power BI to feel much more analytics, the power of much more analytics and data visualization, and scale up your career. So this is from our side, and I hope that you must have liked this webinar. Do share your comments through email or in the comment box. We will come up with another webinar soon. So your suggestion are welcomed at any time. You can give your suggestion on this email ID which we have given, and you can also request your, if you haven't received the material, you can request on this email ID. You can connect with the trainer. We have a very specific Power BI forum in the LinkedIn, so you can join this group, which is the Power BI for finance and business professionals. It is a specific one, and we share specific links, specific material which is relevant for finance and business professional in the area of Power BI. So if you want to learn data analytics and data visualization, you can join our LinkedIn group as well. You can connect with us through LinkedIn, through Facebook, and you can also email us. So thank you for your time, and bye for now, and let's meet on the next webinar.